Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Get new friends, OP. This level of entitlement is honestly baffling. Your friend thinks it's your duty to turn your life upside down for her. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Told my friend she can't sleep over at my place anymore. I live in a studio apartment with my cat. It has a tiny bathroom and balcony. I love my cat more than family members. My friend knows I live in a studio apartment and have a cat. Apparently, she's scared of cats. I just found out today when she visited. While we were up, it was still okay, but she panicked every time my cat looked at her. She asked me to leave him outside on the balcony. I told her it was impossible. It's freezing. I'm not leaving him outside for 10 hours. I told her if she was uncomfortable, she should leave. She declined and said it was okay. Around 11 p.m., she wanted to go to sleep and bring I have to leave cat outside. I went with my cat outside on balcony for 2 hours so she could go to sleep. I went back when I was literally freezing. She was still up. I was really upset. I stayed in bathroom for another hour because I was still cold. Whole night she kept me up because my cat was scaring her. She left around 9 a.m. and I told her it was the last time she stayed with me. She got really upset and said how I choose animal over her, called me some B word and left. I don't know what she told some of our mutual friends, but they called me A for upsetting her. Edit. I just had a talk with my mutual friends. She told them another story, how I suggested staying with me and I would let my cat stay with my neighbor overnight. I didn't know any of my neighbors. I told them what happened. Some of them apologized and some still think I was rude for not leaving my baby outside. I blocked that friend and definitely do that with other ones too. And our second story. Neighbor thinks I'm the cleaner. So this happened Saturday morning. I live in a nice brand new apartment. It's great, and the few neighbors I've met have been pretty chill, with a few exceptions. Earlier in the week, some new neighbors moved into one of the apartments. Their movers left the front door open, and while they were moving furniture in, a whole bunch of dead leaves from outside blew into the hallway. It's a huge mess. My apartment is literally the first door once you enter the building, and every time I've come home since then, I've been walking on dead leaves. We do have cleaners who come in about once or twice a week to clean the common areas, but Saturday morning as I was cleaning my apartment, I decided to pop outside and sweep up some of the leaves. I decided to leave most of them for the cleaners and only focus on the ones that were between the entrance and my door, and a few leaves around there. Figured it's not my job to clean the whole place, and I'd just take care of the leaves that were bothering me. Well, one of my neighbors saw me sweeping up in my PJs with bedhead and decided I was one of the cleaners. She saw that I was tying up my garbage bag and folding up my broom and dustpan. They sort of fold together for compact storage. Crazy B. Hey, you're not done. Why are you getting ready to leave? Me. Oh, hi. I am done. I was only sweeping the space between the hallway and my apartment. CB. Well, that's just lazy. Do your job and sweep the rest of the hallway. It's been filthy for days. Me. Yeah, I know it's been filthy. That's why I decided to clean the spot between the front door and my door. CB. You live here? So why do you only clean once or twice a week? If you live here, you should be cleaning every day. Stop being so lazy. Me. Ma'am, I'm not a cleaner. I'm a resident. The mess in the hallway bothered me, so I cleaned the part that was annoying me. If the rest of it bothers you, then clean it yourself. CB. How dare you? I'm going to call Body Corporate and have you fired and thrown out of this building. Me. Ma'am, I own this apartment and I own my own business. I do not work for our apartment's Body Corp organization and I'm not a cleaner. I live here. The mess bothered me, so I cleaned it. If the rest of the mess bothers you, then effing clean it. I'm not your servant and not going to do it for you. CB. Well then, why are you cleaning the hallway? You think I'm stupid? No one would clean the hallway unless they're getting paid. Me. Or unless they don't want to trek dead leaves into their home every time they get back. CB. Well, if you really are doing this on your own, you won't mind sweeping up the rest of the hall, so do it. Me. Yeah, nah. Had you asked me politely, I might have considered it. But after this exchange, you can either do it yourself or wait for the cleaners to come do it. I'm going to go back inside and continue cleaning my place. Nice meeting you, though. I walked in and she started banging on my door for a while, but I just threw some Disturbed on my stereo and let David Draymond drown out the B-word's knocks. Didn't end well, though. I went out later to throw away my trash in the dumpster downstairs. The crazy bee, I suspect didn't actually see her, but who else would it be, had swept all the leaves in front of my door. So I grabbed my trusty broom and swept them all further down the hall to her door. Have a feeling we're going to be playing this game until the cleaners show up. Maybe I'll borrow my buddy's leaf blower and just rev it up outside her door. It's pretty loud. Neighbors just can't seem to leave each other alone. And our next story. No, I don't need to see your bank statement. Hello, this occurred just yesterday in the midst of reopening. I'm the MOD in this situation. Cashier calls me over because she has an angry customer wanting to return a $60 item and have 2 items price adjusted because after reopening, we took large discounts on most of the store. Her purchase was from before our company shut down. I approached with the intention of just giving her the few bucks difference, but realized I was walking into a stranger situation. Immediately, lady starts saying a previous MOD had accused her of stealing in front of everyone and it embarrassed her, and she said she needed a receipt to take the items back. I know there's no way in hell my sweet peer would have accused anyone. I noticed she has a photo of a receipt on her phone. She'd come back in with a photo to try a second time. I felt happy I could resolve the situation and get her out, but no, doesn't end there. The photo only included the part of the receipt that showed a charge to her credit card. No date, transaction info, store location, etc. It was missing all the info I would need to pull up the transaction on my POS. Also, our POS does not allow a return to a credit card without this info. The software literally doesn't allow it, and there's no way to override. I explained to her that the info I need is missing and asked lady if she had the bottom of the receipt. She said she doesn't have the receipt anymore, just a picture. How did she suddenly get this picture that she didn't have last time? I let her know I'd be happy to give her a store credit for the item to return. She became more and more angry, saying she had her bank statement and I need to put it back on her account. I apologized and explained that our POS won't allow me to do that and there's no override. She demanded I call someone. I let her know there's no one who can override it. I said I could attempt to look at my transactions for that day and see if I could pull it up for her, but our systems probably don't go back that far. As I leave to go do this, I hear my cashier ask if she doesn't mind stepping aside because there's literally a line to the back of my huge store and only 3 cashiers. People can't wait to shop after being cooped up, but staff's afraid to return. Crazy busy. Lady refuses and says, "No, I'll wait right here for her." That's when I started to get PO'd at this lady. It's not everyone's fault that you didn't keep your receipt. At this point, I actually believe there was some fraud going on, like she'd already returned the items and just came in and found the item on the floor and was trying to return it again. Anyway, our systems did not go back that far. When I returned, she then demanded I call customer service right now for her because she's waited long enough. I let her know they were closed, but I'd try in the morning. She then tried to leave the item with me so I could figure it out and then do a credit to her account so she wouldn't need to come in again. I then explained we can't do remote refunds. The card needs to be physically inserted into our pen pad. I dealt with her for almost 40 minutes with a huge line as we were closing. I even offered to let her cut the line the next time. Just take your stupid store credit. Keep your receipts. Don't be so rude to hold up 150 other people. Don't accuse people of saying you stole. Don't call me a liar that I can't just refund to your account. Where the hell did you get this photo if you don't have the receipt? Also, I noticed she hadn't even brought in the item she wanted price adjusted, but I got so caught up in trying to get her receipt info, I didn't even address it. And our last story. My neighbors have stolen my car for the second time in a month. I live in an apartment complex in Indiana. There are no security cameras. I moved here in June and the area seemed safe and quiet enough. I have a Jeep and my husband drives a Ford F-150. I have a third car, a 2001 Oldsmobile Alero that I drove through high school and college until I graduated in May. I got the Jeep, so I don't use the Oldsmobile very often, and it stays parked in our complex's parking lot. My husband drives it more than I do. My husband and I both work overnights, 7 days on, 7 days off, so we aren't home often because we travel in our off week. A few weeks before Thanksgiving, my Alero got a flat tire, and we didn't have time to change it, so it sat on the same spot almost 2 weeks. Day after Thanksgiving, we came home to find it in a new parking spot with all my belongings out of it, someone else's driver's license in it, and bags of clothes. They'd ripped out the ignition park and started it by hot wiring, I guess. We called the cops, and while we waited, the downstairs neighbors came out and were loading things in it, so I confronted them. A huge blowout followed where they tried to drive away in a different car, with me and my husband blocking them to keep them there until the cops came. The cops came and collected their things as evidence, but said they couldn't arrest them since they didn't see them physically drive the car. It was so infuriating as they destroyed my ignition and stole several $100s worth of items from my car. The apartment complex wouldn't do anything. We asked to be moved to a different townhome unit so we could get away from these people, but they wouldn't do it without charging us for breaking lease, even though we just wanted a unit change. So the car's been sitting there since Thanksgiving, since we don't know how to start it by hot wiring it. We got home from Europe this evening around 7 p.m. Christmas Day, and the neighbors have stolen my car again. The door has been unlocked somehow, and it's in a new parking spot with more of their belongings in it. So I decided to stake it out in the morning and catch them on video, but no video was needed as I called the police right after they broke into my car again. We pressed charges, and now they're charged with breaking and car theft. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.